Hey everyone, let's jump right into this. Today, we are exploring an absolute pillar of traditional Vietnamese food, especially down south. We're talking about CiM TヂM. But look, we aren't just going to run through a recipe today. We are going to deconstruct exactly how to eat this dish the authentic way and what it really means to experience it like a true local. If you want to understand the heartbeat of Southern Vietnamese food culture, figuring out CiM TヂM is literally your golden ticket. Let's get into it. So here's a thought for you. Why on earth is a dish built entirely on quote-unquote broken or, imperfect rice considered one of Vietnam's most beloved traditions? It's kind of a fascinating mystery, right? Because in so much of the culinary world, we're obsessed with absolute visual perfection. Yet here, a supposedly flawed foundation creates an absolute culinary masterpiece. Well, to figure that out, we actually need to look at what the name literally means. CiM TヂM translates directly to broken rice. Historically, these were the rice grains that just sort of fractured or broke apart during the traditional milling process. And because they were damaged, people thought of them as less desirable, basically the humble leftovers. But instead of letting them go to waste, locals realized something amazing. These smaller broken grains, they have this totally unique, almost couscous-like texture. They cook differently, and man, they absorb flavors way better than whole grains do. So what started out as a resourceful way to use milling leftovers became the literal, historical foundation of a legendary dish. And honestly, when a typical plate of this is set down in front of you, it's just a complete visual and sensory feast. We're looking at a serious lineup here. You've got your savory grilled pork, a super rich steamed egg meatloaf, crisp pickled veggies, some fresh cooling cucumber, and obviously a side of fish sauce. Visually, it's stunning. You have the white canvas of the broken rice acting as a base for the deep charred browns of the pork, and the bright pops of green and orange from the vegetables. It's a perfectly calibrated meal, all stacked right onto a single plate. Now, I actually want to slow down for a second and really zero in on this pork, because the marinating process is where the real magic happens. The authentic local prep relies on this incredibly rich blend of ingredients: crushed garlic, sugar, black pepper, and fish sauce. Just imagine all those flavors slowly seeping into the meat. You've got that deep, umami, savory note from the fish sauce, perfectly mixing with the sweetness of the sugar, and then it's all finished off with that sharp, aromatic bite of fresh garlic and pepper. It is intentionally designed, from the ground up, to be completely irresistible. But the real transformation, that happens over the fire. The meat is grilled until it's intensely fragrant, and this is absolutely crucial, slightly caramelized. That caramelization is the absolute secret sauce to getting that authentic local flavor. The sugar in the marinade catches the heat of the grill just right, and it creates these beautiful, sticky, slightly charred edges that contrast perfectly with the super tender meat inside. Seriously, if you're walking down a street in southern Vietnam, that sweet and savory smell of pork on the grill, that is literally the scent of the city. Okay, now we've arrived at the absolute soul of the whole shebang. The special fish sauce mix. You don't just dump straight, salty fish sauce over your food here. No way. It's carefully mixed with sugar, fresh lime juice, and fiery chili. What's really interesting is how these simple elements are so precisely calibrated to take a heavy dish and make it vibrant. The lime's acid cuts right through the richness of the pork. The sugar balances out that aggressive saltiness, and the fresh chili just completely wakes up your palate. The final result is this incredible, quote, delicious, sweet, salty, and slightly spicy flavor. I really want to emphasize that exact flavor profile. That three-way balance is the whole reason CiM TヂM works so well. And here is exactly how you eat it like a local. You do not dip your meat into this sauce. Nope. You take a spoon and you generously pour that vibrant liquid all over the entire dish so the porous broken rice can soak it up like a sponge. The sauce acts like this ultimate bridge, marrying the rich, caramelized pork together with the fresh crunch of the cucumbers and pickles. That's the authentic way to do it. Right, so we've got the anatomy of the dish down and we know exactly how it tastes, but let's shift gears for a minute. When do locals actually eat this? If we want to truly eat this like a local and feel the rhythm of southern Vietnam, we gotta ask, is this a special occasion thing? Is it strictly late-night street food? Turns out it is intimately connected to daily life in literally every way possible. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. People enjoy it at pretty much any time of the day. In the early morning hours, you'll see charcoal smoke from the pork grills filling the neighborhood, calling everyone in for this hearty, protein-packed breakfast before work. Come noon, it serves as a fast, super filling lunch, and by evening, it transforms into this comforting dinner. It is totally seamlessly woven right into the daily fabric of Vietnamese life.
And where do you go for the absolute most authentic experience? You hit up the small restaurants and street food stalls, especially right in the bustling heart of Ho Chi Minh City. If you want the real local deal, you aren't looking for some quiet, air-conditioned room. You want the energetic street stalls, sitting on a tiny plastic stool, hearing the constant buzz of motorbikes, feeling the heat, smelling that charcoal smoke. That's it. That atmosphere, it's basically an ingredient in itself.
Let's look at how this all builds into such a beautifully balanced and satisfying meal. We've deconstructed the humble broken grains, the sweet, caramelized marinade, the bright, spicy sauce, and the whole bustling street vibe. But the final, truly local touch is in how you bring it all together. You want to engineer the perfect bite on your spoon. You get a scoop of that sauce-soaked rice, a tender little piece of the grilled pork, and a tangy bite of pickle, all at the exact same time. Every single element plays a crucial role in balancing out the others. It's brilliant. So the crucial point here is exactly what the locals will tell you. CiM TヂM is way more than just a meal. It really represents the creativity and simplicity of Vietnamese cuisine. I want you to just think about that for a second. Taking leftover, broken, damaged grains of rice and elevating them into an iconic, globally recognized culinary tradition. That's the ultimate display of culinary creativity. It anchors the dish not just as everyday food, but as this amazing cultural testament to resourcefulness and brilliance. Ultimately, it's a simple, unbelievably delicious way to experience a huge part of Vietnamese food culture. I highly, highly recommend that when you get the chance, you don't just eat this dish, you experience it. Appreciate the humble history of those broken greens. Savor the charred, sweet edges of the pork. Grab a seat at a noisy street stall, pour that fish sauce generously over your rice, build that perfect bite on your spoon, and just take it all in. It is a true, edible passport right into the culture. Which brings us to our final slide, and a quick question to leave you with. Will CiM TヂM be the very first meal you track down when you visit Vietnam? After looking at the rich marinades, the vibrant street culture, how to construct the perfect authentic bite, and just the brilliant simplicity of the whole thing, I certainly hope it is. Thank you so much for diving into this amazing local experience with me today. Stay curious, keep exploring, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.